everybody. Just give me one moment here. I'm going to take away the Princess of the Apocalypse D&D characters because we're not doing that tonight.
I like Post just chilling over there, though. Just a picture of Kitten.
All right, 1 second, folks, while I take down this extension.
Only week till we play again, Josh.
1 week? Yeah, 1 week.
Yeah.
Dwarven thrower for days. I will use that hammer until I'm dead.
I'm so happy we found that. That's so so cool.
Yeah. We almost passed over it completely.
There we go. All right, no more. Yay. Okay. Hi, hello, everybody. Welcome to the first ever episode of Mistress of Modules. We are so stoked to have you here. I am surrounded by a cast of amazing folks, but I'm going to be selfish first and introduce myself. My name is Celeste Conowitch, and I am going to be your Dungeon Mistress for this episode and all episodes of Mistress of Modules. So before we dive in, yeah, let's go around the table here and just talk about all of you fine folks. Give us your real life names and what you do out there in the world of D&D or creating at large. Let's go ahead and start with Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh Perot. I'm the current DM and co-owner of the Taking Initiative podcast, one of the actual play 5e D&D podcasts that are out there. I'm also the creator and co-producer, co-writer of the podcast of Events for Wizards. Which ones are a different question. But that's what I do. That's me.
And Nassim, who are you?
Did you want to also introduce your character? Or should I just go ahead?
We'll get to characters in a moment here, but I just wanted to introduce all your lovely faces so I'm not just talking at you.
My face is Nassim Etemad, and I'm also on a 5th E actual play Dungeons and Dragons podcast, The Venture Maidens, where I play Elenore, the human monk.
All right, and Jen, who are you?
Hi. Oh, right, the social media. That's the.
Never mind.
Sorry, I forgot that part.
You can do it now.
Go for it.
Part 2, social media. It's now.
Oh, little laggy there. That's okay. Jen, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Jen Vaughn, and I am play a Tiefling Ranger normally on D20 Dames and all ages D&D podcasts, and you can find me online at The Jenya.
And Davis, who are you?
Hi, I'm Davis. I also play in another game on this channel called Princess of the Apocalypse, and I'm in another show called Dank Dungeons. That's it. You can check us out at Dank Dungeons TV on Twitter and Dank Dungeons TV on YouTube. That's it. Goodbye. No.
Yes, and I am so honored that all of you have decided to come and join us for the first episode, flagship episode. You're going to see all the trials, all the errors, everything that's going to come up as we get this show on the roll. So, since this is the first episode, I figure I should tell you a little bit about what Mistress of Modules is. So what we do on this show, we explore and play through shorter form D&D 5th edition modules. No limitation on levels of play or where they come from necessarily. But the fact is that we are going to focus on modules that you can play in either 2 or 3 2-hour sessions apiece. I really wanted to do this show because I don't know if you all have ever done this, but you've gone to the DM's Guild and you're like, I need a module for my group. We're just going to play through something this weekend. And then you're just overwhelmed by all of these choices and all of this information. And it's hard to see interesting modules that you might want to grab for your group at home. So on this show, we're going to spotlight a bunch of different modules. I'm picking them out for different reasons. Either it's an artist we really want to highlight, or maybe somebody in the community who just needs to get their voice out there a little bit more, or maybe just an interesting format, who knows. We're going to be picking up a different module each and every time. So the one we're starting with today, so for episode 1, and then this cast will join me again next week as we play through the second half of this, we're going to be playing Into the Dragon's Maw, which is, the reason I picked it is because it has a very interesting structure. The way it's built, it's tagline is an adventure with a twist, and you will really see why it gets to that at the end. But this module is a little bit older. It was written first off to be compatible with Hoard of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat, that official D&D adventure arc. So this story would fit really nicely into that campaign, or it can be done as a standalone like we're going to do here today. But before we dive in, I wanted to tell you all kind of a little bit about the situation going on with Hoard of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat. For those who don't know, this campaign is set in Faerun, so on the Sword Coast, which is like the classic D&D setting that most of the books are written in. And right now there is a cult of the dragon that is trying to bring back Tiamat, the evil five-headed dragon god, to this mortal realm. And so they're doing all kinds of nefarious activities to make this happen. So we're picking up all of our adventurers that you see here today. They are a group of mercenaries out in the world, and this is all going on as the backdrop. So you all have heard of the Cult of the Dragon. You know the troubles that are facing the world currently. You may not be very actively involved in them. You might. I don't really know. But I think we're about ready here to get started and talking about who you actually all are playing today. So we're going to go around here and then introduce your character names, your race, class, and give a physical description of what you look like. So let's go ahead and, again, start off with Josh.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to be playing Morgan Amberhall. He's part of Amberhall and Nades. He runs this co-business with Chuck Nades, or Charles Nades. They run a PI, treasure hunting kind of farm. And he goes on mercenary kind of things, not missionary. That's a whole other ordeal. But he's a monk lock. He read some shit he shouldn't have read once, and it changed his life for the worse or better. You know, he hasn't decided yet. But he tends to walk around with a long coat, something kind of hidden in his back for when he needs it, 2 clubs at his size. And on the clubs, you'll see that there's some inscriptions in there. Those inscriptions are every single person he's ever killed as a memory that every life takes a toll on something. He likes to just kind of look around, you know, trying to find things, kind of increase the knowledge that he shouldn't be having. And also, you know, go around and palling around and see if he can find some treasure for his friend back at home, too. That's Morgan. Oh, he's a human, too.
Okay, amazing. And Nassim, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you're playing today?
Hello there. My name is Draco, and I've worked alongside whatever your name just was, Josh.
Morgan Amberhall.
Morgan, it's written right there for me. Thank you. I've worked alongside Morgan for some time here and there. We've known each other throughout the years, and I fight in very heavy white chain armor with silver embroidery all across. I wield a very large shield the size of my torso. I'm about the tallest a dragonborn can be. And I'm silver, bright silver, shiny, with white. And I have a phrase that I like to say before every battle. By the light of the moon and the warm embrace of the sun, I fight.
Wow, this is already going to be killer with these voices. All right, and Jen, go ahead. And who are you playing today?
I'm playing Alizarin Crimson. You can call me Crimson. You can call me Crim. If you call me Lizzie, I'll punch you till you're in a tizzy. I am a centaur druid, circle of dreams. But when I'm not helping out these guys, I'm a pyrographer or a tattoo artist. And I've got a nice wooden staff with all my needles and my ink hidden inside because you never know when a side gig's around. I've got a leather vest with some cool patches. Cool. A lot of silver lace tattoos and wooden staff. I'm a red roan centaur, so red and white kind of dappled, red chunky braid, shaved on one side, and just kind of like always got a half like smack on my face.
I love it. Okay. All right. 3 accents. Don't leave us waiting. Davis, who are you playing today?
Well, good evening. My name's Elenore, Ella for short. I'm a 6'2" Aasimar fighter samurai. I got a big old glaive, keepsake from my parents. And, you know, I'm just wandering around. I've been to many different places on the Sword Coast, lots of selling my sword and stuff. But just checking out, you know, see what money's to be had, what money's to be made. By the way, call me Ellie. That's it. Goodbye.
Wow, I am just blown away. This is going to be a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's get started with Into the Dragon's Maw. And in classic module fashion, I have a block of text to read for all of you. Here we go. Stepping into this gloomy forest, known as the Cloak Wood, has seemingly robbed you of your sense of sight. You are overwhelmed by shades of dark green and mahogany brown that saturate the surroundings, blinding you from seeing its minute details. Yet it has heightened your other senses. The smell of loam in the moist earth and decomposing leaves is thick in the air. Even the rustling foliage and the soft crunch of fallen twigs underneath your boots are deafening. You feel no wind, yet the air is numbingly cold. Xandi, a female half-elf scout, has been guiding your party since you left the city of Baldur's Gate this morning. The trail you have been following has been made uneven by knotted roots and sometimes branches at intervals, making it difficult to keep your bearings. We should be nearing a clearing soon, Xandi announces. A few minutes later, you step into a small glade that is roughly 60 feet in diameter. You notice a distinct coppery smell in the air, as well as a strange buzzing sound from nearby. Near the center of the clearing is a huge elk lying prone. It appears to be entangled in a hunter's snare, and it's struggling to get out of it. You also note that there are strange lengthy furrows on the ground around it, as if some massive plow randomly went through them. But what catches your attention are the thousands of strange, tiny brown puffballs floating in the breeze. So all of you are standing around this clearing. As it's stated in there, it's about 30 by 30 feet. And you see this large elk that's just sort of twitching and straining on the ground right in front of you. And so you currently are with Xandi, who is this half-elf scout.
Hey, Xandi, is this normal? Does this happen every day?
I'm not sure. I haven't been in these parts in quite a while. What's it doing? It looks unnatural. And you do see, as she's tracking the gaze to this elk, it's twitching very strangely, and its body is kind of rolling as its legs, like, kick up in the air. And you do see there is this trap centered around it on the ground, but it's just a very strange sort of sight.
How far away is it?
So from you right now, it's about 15 feet.
Okay. Well, I say we put the poor thing out of its misery.
I mean, fair enough. Like, look at that guy. That sucks.
Unfortunately, I wield a giant warhammer, and it wouldn't be the most peaceful way of going.
I can Eldritch blast it from here, but that just may make it upset. I'd be upset. Like, I don't like sending at things that, like, look at it. Who wants to make that day worse?
What if we went like just a little bit closer to double check? As like a fellow quadruped, I'm a little miffed that everyone wants to kill him right away. So maybe we could.
Is he not bleeding? He doesn't look punctured or wounded.
He definitely does. Like there is red glistening blood where this trap has caught one of this thing's legs.
Well, do we want to try and help it then?
I mean, we could do that too. That seems a bit.
Elliot, you're on my team. Let's go.
All right. Falling behind.
Can we make an insight to see if he's looks like he can be spared?
Sure. Go ahead and make an animal handling to try and assess the situation.
Well.
That's a good sign.
9.
Kill
it.
This thing is wriggling. I mean, pretty jerkily. You're not sure. I mean, it does look like it's lost quite a fair amount of blood on the ground too. You're not sure, even if you did get it out of the trap, that
we couldn't scoop the blood back up.
Oh boy.
Put it in him.
You want me to scoop the blood?
All right, so
put it back in.
I don't think
that's a good idea. Just personally, I mean, I'm all for helping it, but
so
it's like my staff right into the trap, and like we could like brace it open.
Yeah.
Sure, let's do it. I'll take my glaive out and I'll put it on one side.
Yeah, so as you step closer towards this elk that is in the trap, you make it about 10 feet to where it is. And then the elk just jerks, like with this great throw, and you see its body flips over, and the back side that you weren't seeing before because its legs were kind of up in the air has this huge, like, red dripping bite taken out of it, and you see that there's this giant hole right underneath where the body was, and you begin to feel the ground shake.
Oh no, I think I know what this is.
And suddenly, without any other
Oh,
warning,
shit.
this massive beaked sort of gray mouth just pops out of the ground right beneath your feet. And I'm going to have to make you guys roll some dexterity saves.
Oh shit.
Our body?
Crim.
Crim got a 10.
I rolled a 2.
Oh,
Hold
fuck. Me too.
Wow.
Plus.
Wow.
Well, a 5 plus 3.
Okay. All
Or
right.
do we point shame on this game?
3
Oh,
total.
definitely. Yeah. You. Okay. I'm sorry. And then what did Morgan roll?
16.
Okay.
Sorry, 19. 19.
All right, so Morgan, you are the only one who manages to throw yourself out of the way as this creature springs forward out of the ground, and with this like accelerated speed that you couldn't imagine something so large could have, it charges out of the ground and lands, causing this shockwave to go out and throw you all off kilter. So everybody is going to take 11 damage except for Morgan, as just shards of earth and rock fall on this thing. All the while, you're seeing that these brown spores in the air that before are now like sticking to the blood like on this elk and just coating the ground around you. I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative as this very angry bullet is sad you interrupted its lunch.
Davis, I'm personally feeling attacked by this Bulette based on our past.
Yeah. You know, it's like I feel like I'm being followed through games by these things.
All right, Davis, what did you get on your initiative?
I got a big old 5.
So Ellie got a 5.
Starting the game out real strong.
And Draco, what did you get? Nassim.
Oh, sorry, that's my name. Natural 20.
Well. Okay, and then Morgan.
13.
All right, and Krim.
21.
21. Yo. Okay. I'm remembering all your names, and we're gonna do great. And let me roll for my Bulette. Bulette. Okay. Wow. A natty 1, boy. Okay.
Oh, hooray.
Keep that up, please.
All right, so it started its like leap though now, as you can fully see this thing's body. So this is a large creature, and it has those 2 legs in front of it with those massive claws meant for digging. This is sort of like a hybrid between like a pangolin and like, I don't know. I always imagine Rhydon from Pokemon, like every time I think of bullets. But that's just me. All right, so starting things off, this thing is charged out of the earth now, and Krim, you get the first move here. After you you fall and maybe like twist one of your hooves that caused that damage initially.
Jeez. Krim's going to elegantly do like a spin to stand up. And how far away would you say? You said it's running.
Yeah, so no, right now it landed like right in the center of you, so you're all easily within 5 feet of this thing.
Okay. She pulls out her sickle and then just tries to slash at, a glowing weak point that's pulsing.
Yeah. You try to target lock on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's roll that d20 and see if you can. Yum.
That's that's gonna be an 8.
That is not going to do it, as your weapon just bounces off of this very thick, tough armor that reminds you of stone.
Oi, be careful!
Anything else for Krim's turn?
No, that's it currently. Yeah.
Then moving right along to Draco.
I stumble back up after being knocked the fuck out. And by the light of the moon and the warm embrace of the sun, I take out my warhammer, yielding it with 2 hands,
Please
and
say that
smash
every
it.
single time. Every single time, please.
Well, she'll start again, or they'll start again if you you interrupt. So.
Okay, good.
Okay. No. What is it? 3? That's an 8 to hit. But I have an extra attack.
Well, then go ahead and do that second attack, because 8 is not going to do it.
Well, that is a modified 20.
Okay, that will hit.
And it's a D10. Oh shit. That's a 10 damage. Well, plus 3, so right? Or strength. Then 15 damage.
Wow. Ow. Lame. All right, where are you hitting this thing?
Whatever looks like the face.
Okay, yeah. So the face of this thing, it's got this very kind of bulbous head, so its jaws just open in this massive mouth that is just lined with these horrible looking teeth. So these two little beady eyes are right there, and you smack it right in between the two of those.
Disorient him.
Get in there. Anything else for your turn?
I believe that's all.
All right, and then Morgan, we're up to you.
Sure. I just want a clarification question really quick because D&D Beyond is telling me something that I didn't know. If I'm dual classing and my cantrip for Eldritch Blast is for like at 5th level you do 2 beams, is it a full level or is it just level in Warlock? Because it's telling me I have 2 beams with 2 levels of Warlock.
Level.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Your spells
so my
your
ass.
total. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna reach out my hand. I'm gonna go nope, and I'm just gonna shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts at it.
What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
So the Eldritch Blast doesn't really have the green tint that a lot of them tend to do. This is more of a deep purple that tends to happen. It's very particle effecty that comes off, and it whenever you look at it, it looks like you're looking at it like in a negative space. It just doesn't make sense on the eyes as if it's not from here.
Ooh, love it.
It no look good.
All right, go ahead. See if you can hit this thing.
Cool. The first bolt is going to be 7, so obviously that's going to hit, and then the second is going to be an 18.
The 18 will do it.
Fantastic. 2 damage.
Okay. Ow. This thing now is just shocked that any resistance has come its way after getting out of the ground. Bullets are just used to ruling the roost here. So this thing is like roaring, and you see its claws are like kicking up dirt and spores behind it as it's just turning around, determining who to face next. And then Ellie.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to back up like 10 feet. And since we just got into a clearing, I'm going to kind of dip behind a tree, and I'm still going, nope, to myself.
Definitely. And as you back behind the tree, you see Zandy is also backed up behind a tree, and she is stringing an arrow, getting ready.
Okay.
All right, now, Ellie, what you gonna
do? It's my
do?
turn?
Yes.
All right. So how far away is it from me?
Like 5 feet.
It's like 5 feet? I'm going to stand and be like, I hate bullets. I'm going to slice it once, try for first attack.
Go ahead.
That's a 4. I'm assuming that misses.
You all have all missed this at least once this turn. It's a tough.
Pick again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a 9. Hold on. 9 plus 6, 15.
Nope, that is not going to do it as it bounces off that tough hide once again.
What is happening? Bonus action. Second win. Just regain 5 hit points.
Yep, you toughen up. You're like, ugh, okay. And then you see Zandy fires a shot from behind her tree, and she will land a hit on this thing. Okay. Perfect. And then it's my turn. Oh, goody. All right. So Morgan was the only one who ran away. So I got 3 people on this D4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. Dealer's choice. I think that the only person who hit it, so Draco, Bulette is going to be coming for you.
Hit me with your best shot.
All right. Is a 19 gonna do it?
The equal is yes?
Yes, equal is a hit. So this thing's giant jaws swing towards you, and it just goes and it bites down on your mid-torso, intent on crushing you.
So I get an opportunity attack if it left.
Oh, it didn't leave. It just...
Oh,
you're all in this tight little circle around it right now.
I'm fooling.
Okay. Really? That's a lot of damage.
Don't hurt me.
Yes.
Too
Yes,
bad.
it is.
Okay. All right, 1 plus 4. That's not so bad. Plus 3. Wow, you're getting so lucky. Okay, that's only 13 damage. 13 piercing damage as this thing bites. But luckily, you're a tin can, so it's just you feel pressure on your armor as this thing is just trying to bite through you in one piece. And then that concludes its turn, so we're back up at the top with Krim.
Excellent. I'm sorry, you mentioned there was a large maw or a beak. Are there any eyes?
There are 2 very beady eyes.
Very beady eyes. Okay, excellent. Krim's gonna wave a hand out and go, "Prepare to be tattooed." And a shard of ice comes out of her hand, and she flings one straight at the, let's say, the left eye.
Yes, love it. All right, go for it.
16?
That will not do it. You're aiming for the eye, and it just bounces off of one of the heavy ridges surrounding it. So close.
Yeah, I was too booked up anyway. I didn't want to tattoo you. And Krim's gonna canter back actually a little bit after that.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's too busy trying to bite through Draco to even get an opportunity attack on you as you back out of its radius. All right, anything else before we hop to Draco?
Nope.
All right, my man. What's up?
Well, trying to decide if I want to fix myself first or just push on through.
Bulette is still definitely attached to you.
Then let's smash him with another hammer.
All right.
Ooh. 21 to hit.
Definitely.
Yes. Where's my 10? 8 damage.
Okay. Ow.
Extra attack. That's 19.
Ow. Yes, that will hit.
And I'm going to make it... Oh, do I want to do it now? No, I don't want to do it now. All right, I'm just going to hit it.
Intro fight? You don't want to burn all your spells? Come on.
I'm good. It's cool. 10 damage.
Okay. So you're just in this thing's mouth and you use a 2-handed hammer?
Yeah.
What are you doing right now? You're just...
I'm I don't know, holding it from down at the very bottom and letting the weight of the top smash down as far as I can on its back.
Yep.
Draco, get me a canine.
I want its teeth. And then moving on to Morgan.
Okay, I'm gonna dip around the corner. I'm gonna see that it's attacking Draco. I'm like, oh god, oh no. I'm gonna shoot 2 more Eldritch Blasts at it because I don't want to get near that thing at all.
Fair enough.
Just no.
It does look really angry now that Draco is smashing in its skull.
Wouldn't that blast hurt me too?
No.
It's a specifically target.
Okay.
I wouldn't hurt my friends like that. Wouldn't do it. First one is a 22.
Yeah.
Second one is a natural 20.
Oh boy, let's go.
All right. First one, 2 damage.
Okay.
Second one, 4 damage.
All right.
That D10 has rolled 3 2s. It's been great.
Oh boy. So you're just peppering this thing with blasts as this is all happening. Anything else for your turn?
You got this, and I spit it back or behind the tree again.
He hasn't let go of me yet.
Nope, and he's super not planning on it. And then we're moving right along to Ellie.
Oh shit, it's still here. I'm gonna keep slashing at it. Get back in the grunt.
Go back in your hole.
4 for the first attack.
No.
Second attack. This is it. 16 plus 6, 22.
There you go.
Aha!
Come at me.
That's an 8 plus 3, so 11 damage for the first hit.
Ooh.
Bonus action, I'm gonna slash it right in the head, and then I'm gonna take the butt end and smack it in the head again.
All right.
This is a D4 for damage, but...
Insult to
Oh,
injury.
16 plus 6, 22 again.
Yep.
Oh, 4 plus 3, 7 more damage.
Okay, this thing is starting to look real not great. It just wanted to pop out of the ground and, scare you all off, but here it is, bleeding out. So
don't you eat that? That is not for food.
No snacks. All right, and then Zandy will launch another arrow from behind that tree, dealing some damage. And then we're back up to my Bulette. And it's gonna keep biting, Draco. How about an 18? Will that hit you?
Nah, bitch.
All right, so it's like you're hearing all this horrible scraping against metal sound as these teeth are just shredding Draco's pretty white chainmail.
And Draco from its jaws yells, "I am a snack, but not on this day."
Oh, wow. I love this. Graham, we're back up to you.
Excellent. Krim looks over his shoulder at the Bulette and says, "You know what? I did have a consolation, so why don't we just try to get you back under my needle?" And lifts up another hand and then sends an ice shard flying at its eye. She casts Ice Knife for 20.
There you go. That'll do
20. Yes. Okay. I know how to count. 4, 8 damage.
Okay. And there is just this spurt of crimson as you dig out this thing's eye, as this knife goes flying. What does your ice knife look like? What? Just tell me about that.
Oh, it looks like a hand with a middle finger pointing up that's been sharpened. It's pretty. It's a blue, white, and then obviously drenched in blood. It starts to melt. And then Krim would like to take a bonus action.
Absolutely.
That's okay. Yeah. She looks over at Draco in the mouth, goes, "It's all right. I got you, love." And one of her tattoos of a spring flower starts glowing, and she pulls some Fey energy from the balm of the summer court.
Oh, yes.
Heal 5 points of damage to Draco.
Nice. Nassim.
You're healing 5 points of damage? Thank
Yeah.
you. I keep forgetting my name.
I was like, no need to thank me. It's all right.
Draco's just like, no. Oh, God, that's amazing. You have fairy tattoos. All right, so your fairy tattoo pops off, and then we go to you, Draco, and this thing is not looking good and is very frustrated. It can't bite through your armor.
Okay. We're gonna just have to keep smashing it.
Hey, man. It's a good game.
Well, it sounds like he's almost there. I'll take him all the way.
Wink.
21 to hit.
Yes, that will hit. Take him all the way.
7 damage.
All right, how do you want to do this?
Oh, I guess I'm still in the same position I was before.
Yep.
So, man, yeah, I just swing my hammer down from the bottom end.
Yeah, and so even in this awkward position, you're just jamming your hammer with all of your force, and you're going for the same spot you've been cracking right between the eyes. And as you bring down that final hammer, you hear that satisfying the bones shuffling in its head, and one of its eyes is already gone with a middle finger slowly disappearing into it. And this thing, the other one just goes like this cloudy shade, and you feel slack as this thing's jaws just sort of loosen around you, and the great thing just, and with a crunch, it topples over, dead. You've all done it! Congratulations on surviving your first fight.
Does this animal look like it has any pockets or anything?
He's right there. All right.
Go to search around in the pockets of the Bulette. You do not find anything in its pockets except sweaty lint.
Is it ovipositing anything like treasure?
Oh boy. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to. No,
I'll tell you when you're older. Yeah.
Oh god, thank you. I need to grow up a little bit before I know. Okay. All right. Oh look, I have another block of text to read for you. All right. After defeating the creature, you settle down to recover your breath and bind your wounds. However, something starts to dawn on you as you look at each other. Somehow, you are all unable to recall what your purpose is in being here. And you all see a half-elf woman walk out from behind a tree. She's holding a bow, and she's looking around at all of you, and she, like, kneels down and, like, waves her hand in front of your faces and seems to be, like, looking at your pupils.
What are you doing?
Okay. So, from the look of your faces, I think you're already under the effect of the fungal spores. Damn. And she looks around, and so all those brown spores that are on the ground now have settled after the fight, but are, like, finally coating everything. And she says, "Don't worry, the spores are harmless. However, your memory of the past day might be a little foggy. It'll gradually return, though, as your body fights off the spores in your system, but we don't have the luxury of time to wait for that to happen. We still have a half a day's travel ahead of us, and we are pressed for time, and we have to keep moving."
Who are you now?
I'm Sandy. I'm the scout.
Right.
I'm leading you to the Dragon's Maw.
Right.
But I...
Sure.
Morgan,
Yeah.
I see we've been traveling together. Maybe we forgot our way. I don't want to pretend.
Yeah, so you all remember each other, because you've all worked with each other in the past, but the last 24 hours, what you've been doing, completely gone.
Hell of a bender. I love
How
it.
did we get here? We left. Weren't we in Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, we definitely were.
Is this considered a poison?
It is not considered a poison.
Is it considered a party banger?
Absolutely, it is. You are shroom high. All of you are shrooms board. You got the board!
I don't know what's happening.
Well, I want insight on this elf lady.
Definitely, go ahead.
Oh, no. Oh, natural 1.
Okay, yeah, she's like looking
You know
at
your
all of
way
you.
about you.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
She looks frustrated now and is like looking off in a direction and like looking at the sun and just...
You seem like you're in a hurry. Should we go?
Yes, absolutely. We need to get to the Dragon's Maw immediately. I'm supposed to lead you there. Now, come on.
Hey, Sandy, Bandy.
Sandy.
Candy.
Yeah.
No, Zandy.
Zandy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on you because, I have a problem with people coming up to me and telling me I'm supposed to remember them. And I don't. I just don't. So you can guide us all you want, but I keep an eye on you because I don't trust you for shit.
All right, that's fine. Please do follow me. That's literally what I was hired for. And she just starts to walk off.
Cream's going to take her sickle and an empty glass vial and just kind of push some of the brown spore goo in. I know a guy who would take this, you know?
Yeah. So they're actually, they're really fluffy. So imagine, the way a dandelion looks, right before you blow on it. So there's just a ton of these little things. So you could easily, scrape them.
Yeah, just try not to touch anymore, but wants to collect some for purposes, for money or something.
Yeah. You have mistakes you want to forget.
Yeah.
Oh, don't we all? All right, and then Zandy begins to lead you off through the wilderness. She seems to definitely have a destination in mind that she's taken to you to, and she's mentioned Dragon's Maw Cave several times over the course of explaining what's going on here. And I have another text box. I will say one thing about this adventure: they love their text box, but they are important. So here we go. As you continue your journey, you begin recalling bits and pieces of your memory of the previous night. The smoke twisted and coiled like a serpentine dragon, forming curls in the gloom, illuminated only by the torches hanging from the stone and mortar walls of the Helm and Cloak, a popular inn in Baldur's Gate. The cloaked figure, sitting comfortably in a cushioned oak chair, puffed once more from his smoking pipe, and soon the air is filled with the heavy scent of his weed. "Thank you for accepting my invitation," the old man said in a raspy, accented voice. I guess I should do that. "I am Zeragos, and I am the proprietor of the Sorcerer's Sundries." Sensing that some of you are unfamiliar with the name, he adds with a hint of annoyance, "It is a magical curio shop. You should visit it sometime." He then turns to his left. Sitting beside me is Zandy Silverthorn, a scout who knows the forests around Baldur's Gate like the back of her hand. Good evening to you all. Zandy greets warmly, her voice soft and melodic. As she nods to you, you notice her pointed ears that were partially covered by her luminous white hair, revealing her half-elven lineage. After greeting Zandy back, Zaragos continues on page 6. Right to the point. Your party was recommended to me. I need a group of capable mercenaries to go to Dragon's Maw, a cavern complex deep within the Cloak Wood, and stop someone who might be an agent of the Cult of the Dragon from unleashing a powerful, evil artifact. That is as far as you can recall for now. So you continue to follow Zandy through most of the morning, through this narrow trail here, and then eventually you come upon a path that ends in a 10-foot wide cave mouth that has been crudely carved into the shape of a dragon's skull. And Zandy says, well, it's as far as I go. I wasn't hired to go inside with you.
Well, I guess if you were, I wouldn't remember. So, good on ya.
Okay, then I will wait out here, and whenever you do whatever it is you need to do, I will be right here, and I will lead you back to town.
All right, you got any like parting words of wisdom or like a snack you could give us? Any like jerky?
Don't die?
That's a good one. Thank you.
Well, I guess I'll try.
Words of wisdom.
Indeed.
Don't die. I'm just going to remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember that. Underline it. Well, adventurers, do your thing. And she steps back off into a copse of trees and kind of hides herself.
I'm looking up at the skull entrance. Well, they named the place right, at least.
Yeah,
I mean, try hiding it.
Yeah, somebody definitely carved this dragon mouth here. And as you look kind of further down the cave, you see that there are actually spears that have been stuck into the ground, and they all seem to have these much, much smaller sort of dragon-looking skulls just mounted on top of them.
Can I check for tracks or like recent signs of movement?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Well, it's a 19 and it's a -1, so 18.
Okay, that is still very good. So as you're going ahead and you're taking a look at like the spears and kind of the area around, you do notice that there is a set of footprints about a day old. It looks like 5 or 6 people were in this party. They are slightly smaller than human footprints, but they still look humanoid.
Something small went through here.
Multiples. Yeah.
Many small things.
Some ones.
Some many small ones came wandering through this here spot at some point in the last few days, I think.
Wandering
Go ahead.
in and out.
In and out?
It looks like they probably went in about a day ago.
Just in. No out, not yet.
Do you recognize that kind of creature? Is it like a gnome or a dwarf or just a lot of small human children?
If you want to give me a nature check, perhaps you can go ahead and try to identify that.
Myself or
I shall.
Ellie? Okay.
11.
Okay, you're children. Sure, that seems logical.
Little people.
I think they're
Okay.
called halflings. Jeez.
And how tall would you like? How tall is the top of the tunnel? Is it like 10 feet tall or?
Yeah, it's about 10 to 12. It's a little bit irregular. So actually, probably from a distance, it is harder to see this cave mouth because the beak is kind of carved down. So you have to stoop a little bit before the cave actually opens
And would
up.
you say like 2 people can walk through at a time?
Definitely. Probably 3 of you could fit comfortably side by side.
All right. You're going to see Grim just open up one of the tiny pouches on her cool leather vest and just kind of crumble a piece of wood and cast bark skin on herself just to toughen up because, you never know.
You never know what's going to be the big ouchies.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Little protection never hurt no one.
Mm-hmm.
And Celeste, to give you a heads up, one of the invocations I have is Devil Sight, so I can just see normally darkness. So
All right.
heads up.
Perfect. Yeah, there definitely is no light in here, so is anybody going to have a problem seeing while we're inside?
I mean, I don't got dark vision.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
So y'all will need a source of light. If you're
Does
gonna-
anybody have a torch on them?
I can do this, and the end of my glaive is now glowing.
Ah,
Cast
light! All right.
Light!
Glowy sword.
Light!
So what's the plan? We walking in here? We got a marching order?
I can enter first.
Of course.
Sure thing.
I will be the shield to this party.
I'm perfectly okay with that. You're good at it.
Great. So we
Yeah.
walking in?
Mm-hmm. I can go second. Or Krim can go second.
All right, perfect. So we've got Draco in front, Krim next, and our Ellie and Morgan just kind of in the back.
Yeah, I'm good being in the back, just kind of looking around, taking everything in.
Okay. Perfect. So you begin to walk into this cave. I'll read off some general features. Cave, like I said, super dark. As you walk in, you get a smell of moisture coming from somewhere deeper in the cave, and you can hear the gentle plink of running water, dripping water somewhere off in this cave system. The walls and floors are generally flat. It looks like somebody has roughly carved out this passageway, so perhaps widened it from a natural structure here. Everything is made of stone. Ceilings at their highest are 15 feet, at their lowest are 10 feet. Again, it kind of fluctuates as it was a natural space that's been carved out. Okay. And then, so you keep walking for a little whiles, and you come into a room that opens up a little bit more. And as you're seeing here, so you're walking through this hallway here. The ceiling is 15 feet high and is dotted with stalactites. Bas-relief carvings on the walls depict what look like winged beasts, but have been vandalized with tar, so it's hard to tell. In the southwest corner of this room sits a small wooden box filled with assorted objects, including a shiny-looking dragon figurine. A 10-foot wide tunnel continues east. So you come to sort of this square room. There's a big pile of boxes and crap on one side, and the walls look like somebody just painted a bunch of tar all over them. And there is a hallway to the east and a hallway that leads, just to the east.
The tar recent or old?
Do you want to touch it? Figure it out?
I'm gonna go over, kind of sniff at it, and just see if it glints off, if it's still kind of wet.
Yeah, it's not freshly painted, but it's not ancient, so it's probably been done maybe sometime in the last few weeks to months.
Well, this kind of supports your theory of what you were thinking before. You were seeing the tracks from a day ago or so. People are definitely here as of recently. They wouldn't have done this after the fact, after a while. They would have done this probably right away. They didn't like this.
You don't think they're redecorating?
Well, redecorating probably for them, but I mean, covering up these kind of symbols, you don't like what's on those walls if you're covering up with tar.
And we're looking for an evil artifact, right?
Yeah.
The cult of the dragon, and is it, you think it's this shiny thing right here, or too obvious?
That would make this module very short.
Is there any...
in the foyer?
We have a deadline on Mistress of Modules, so...
Is there any kind of writing on these reliefs before that hallway? The hallway leading to the item?
No writing, just these lovingly carved kind of winged beasts. They're not done particularly well either. It's not like an artist came in here and did this. This is just...
Yeah.
Not really sure.
Okay.
I'm going to jot one of those drawings down into my own personal kind of pad of parchment.
Definitely. Would you consider yourself good at art, drawing?
Passable that I know what it is.
Okay. Yeah, as you're sketching this out, you can see, This is probably somebody trying to draw a dragon. Like, you can see how if they were a little bit better at art, that would be the leap to make.
Krim is judging both Morgan and the drawings on the wall as a tattoo artist.
Yeah,
just like, but quietly, just
your flash is crap.
doesn't look like new Walter Davian style to me.
All right, kids, what's the plan?
Shall I investigate the figurine?
Okay. Yeah, so you want to go over and just, like, search the boxes?
I was asking the group. What does the party think?
If you want to investigate it.
Yeah, we should check anything and everything if possible. So we don't want to skip.
Elbows up, I march into the room with the figurine.
Right behind you.
Okay, sure. So go ahead and give me an investigation check, Draco, as you go to look at these boxes. And Ellie, give me one as well.
I should just write it down.
11.
16.
Okay. All right. So as you two reach the boxes and like all the stacked stuff, and you see this figurine now fully does look like some kind of dragon statuette. Ellie, you're like going ahead and reaching for it, and then you hear like this cracking sound coming from right beneath your feet as you see all the boxes just suddenly and the floor itself drops out from under you, and all of these crates and everything are just falling now down into this pit trap that was laid for you. And Draco, you were like moving towards the boxes and just saw the seam on the floor just as Ellie got to this point. So you're standing there like right at the edge and seeing Ellie just tumble down with all of these boxes and shit on top of you. So Ellie, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you can save yourself here.
Can I react and try and catch?
20.
I think Ellie's got it. So as this all happens, it's just that slow motion moment, right? As you're watching Ellie just drop down. But Ellie manages to reach out a hand and just grip the edge as you hear this clattering sound that echoes very loudly through this cave system as these boxes and everything shatter on the floor, and you see all these pointed spears at the bottom of the pit. So Draco, you can definitely go ahead and help Ellie now up.
Little help.
I do. I throw my claw down onto his clothing in the back and try and tear him out of the...
Yeah, so between the two of you, you scrabble up and clearly fell for that trap. And loud. It was very, very loud. So if there's anything anywhere in this cave system, they 100% heard you.
Krim is looking up at the top of the tunnels to see if there's anything.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
Well, that was just straight hazardous.
It's going to be a big 10.
All right, you're looking up. There's just dark ceiling above you.
Excellent.
Well, we did our job here. Let's move forward.
Let's go break another room.
Yeah. To add insult to injury, that dragon statuette, you see it crumpled now on the bottom, just broke into a million pieces, and it looks like just maybe chalk. Like that had some paint on it. Yeah. So you want to continue on?
Yeah, I finished my drawing now. Put it away.
Okay. All right, we're going to keep that same marching order.
Morgan, don't forget to blow on the ink or else it'll smear when you close the book.
Good. I just blow it, and it I would have never heard this before. I'm just like blowing at it. I'm like, it's good.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right. So you make your way down this eastern passageway, and the passage opens into a 40-foot wide, square-shaped cavern dimly lit by 2 torches, each hanging from opposite walls. A single, poorly crafted wooden table sits at the center of the cavern. Rough-hewn dice carved from bone lie amidst a dozen or more coins on top of the table. Lying against a corner wall are at least a dozen spears and javelins. You see 2 other exits from this area. The east one opens to a ledge overlooking a great chasm, while the one to the north is a tunnel that stretches 30 feet before ending at a makeshift wooden barricade. The disgusting scent of sweat and goblin hide hangs in the air here. I need everybody to go ahead and give me, what are your passive perceptions?
Oh, what the hell is that?
15, I think.
11.
Okay.
It's going to be under your saving throws, probably.
11 for me.
Okay.
15.
All right. So Ellie, I think you're the, what was yours, Krim?
11.
Okay. So Ellie, you're the only one who notices this before everything goes to hell here. So you see around the corner of this room, there are all like these roughly hung tapestries all over the walls, and you see little green feet just like beneath each of these tapestries. And then suddenly the stillness of the cavern is broken as all of these like screams and battle cries start, and you see all of these goblins pop out from behind these tapestries and start firing at you with their short bows. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a surprise round here.
Well, Krim can speak Goblin. They're some of her best customers, so.
All right, perfect. So I will say just the two.
They get disadvantaged because are you guys all? I think they're within 5 feet of me. My party, since I was
Yes.
leading.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely. So they will get disadvantage as you protect them with your big shield.
Yeah.
All right. So it's just gonna be 2 goblins firing with you cross bolts. Disadvantage. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, Ellie, you can throw yourself out of the way since you realized they were there. I'm going to assume...
Oh, shit, goblins!
I'm going to assume Draco, a 14 is not going to hit you.
No.
Okay, and then the other one, we'll try to take a shot at Krim. Okay, is a 13 going to hit you?
Not with my barkskin, baby.
Oh, just shatters, breaks off. Okay, and the 2 goblins are like frustrated as they're like, hi-ya! And trying to like shoot these crossbolts at you. And you see that 2 taller figures step out from the tapestries behind them, and they look like bigger, meaner, redder goblinoid creatures. So you recognize those guys as hobgoblins. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and roll some initiative.
9 for Krim.
16 for Draco.
18.
Hang on, guys. I lost my pen.
Same, by the way, the protection feature for Paladin uses your reaction to do it. So you'll be able to do it against like 1 attack until your next.
I do it after someone attacks.
Yeah, you can impose disadvantage on somebody as they attack, but you can only do it once until your next turn because it's your reaction.
Oh, okay.
only get
I
one
thought it was just like a
reaction.
thing that was always.
That would be awesome.
Okay, so Ellie, what did you get? On initiative? Oh, took a
I
sandwich.
forgot who I was.
Sandwich
18.
bite. 18. Okay, and then Morgan.
22.
All right, and Krim? Muted.
9.
Thank you for that message.
I guess I could have used my hands while I was trying.
And then Draco, what did you get? Nassim.
God damn it. 16.
I'm trying to be an immersive DM and use your character names. All right, and let me roll for my goblin kind. Oh, I'm just rolling like butts. Okay.
You rolling doubles? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, 3 3s, baby.
Ooh.
All right, give me 1 sec, guys. Apparently my mic is low or muffled. So talk amongst yourselves for 1 moment while I address that.
We should count this as a short rest, right? If she's pausing in those,
Wow.
I think so.
like, the biggest climax of the show so far.
I think we get a surprise right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I'm keeping... no, keep going.
Bam.
Oh, I was just trying to find my breath weapon. I don't remember how it works.
You're a silver type?
2d6.
Yeah. I do cold damage. But what is that?
That's code.
Breath weapon.
I know that they need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep. It's 8 plus your Constitution modifier plus proficiency bonus is your DC. Creature takes 2d6 on a failed save, half as much on a successful one. You can use it once until you complete a short or long rest.
Check. 1, 2.
Wait, where are you reading this?
I'm reading it in the PHP on page 34.
Okay.
And it's cold damage in a 15-foot cone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
An ice scream cone.
Good.
God.
Thank you
there
for
it is.
doing
Yeah,
that.
Inspiration.
All right, sorry, folks out there in the chat. I have turned up my mic, so if I'm screaming at you now, let me know. All right, perfect. And then let me just, pull up some stat blocks here, just in case,
How many goblins were there, Celeste?
So there are 2 normal goblins and then 2 hobgoblins.
2 hobgoblins.
2 classics.
2 gobs, 2 hobs. Coming at your face.
Nope. Nope.
You're not gonna
Write it on my tombstone. Like
She died when the goblins came at her face.
hobs, knobs, or gobs.
This show
Cash,
isn't for
grass,
kids,
ass.
by the way. If you have kids, turn it off. Run away. You should have known when I said I was DMing.
Oh, I knew.
I thought the brick wall and the laser lights would give that away.
Yep. Come on. Mistress of Mods, the show where you can buy drugs in an alley.
Jeez.
Anyway, I finally found my monster stat blocks. All right. Okay, so the situation, you're standing in this 40 by 40 foot room. The goblins and the hobgoblins have positioned themselves on the outside edges of the room. So the hobgoblins are the furthest away, back towards that chasm area, balcony that you saw over towards the east. The 2 goblins popped out of tapestries a little bit closer to you. So they're about halfway into the room, so about 20 feet or so on far sides here. So this is a tactical assault they've planned here, and you are all at the entrance to this room. So we're going to go ahead and start things off with Morgan. What are you going to do?
There's a part of me that just wants to cast them all into magical darkness, just ping them. But no one else can do shit. So that's not as fun. You guys mind if they're in the dark?
If they're in the dark and we're just not, how
Yeah.
does that work?
From a standpoint outside of game, it would mean that no one could see in. I can. They can't see anything at all. So they would have to wander out at some point.
So
I
it'd
guess
be
Also
disadvantage
would
to
be
hit
able
them.
to see, right?
What's up?
But we wouldn't be able to see, though, right?
No.
So disadvantage to hit them. And most spells you have to see your target to cast.
If all they have to do is walk out of the darkness, I don't really know if that's good.
Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to kind of do finger guns and just look at both goblins. I go, bang, bang, assholes. And I'm going to Eldritch Blast both of them.
Love it, love it.
That's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, the little gobs, definitely.
And a 7. So I had one of them.
7 damage.
No. 7 was for the second attack because Eldritch Blast is each. So I'm going to hit the left one.
Got it.
For 8 damage.
How do you want to explode him?
I'm going to, while he's charging in, I want his eyes to light up as it starts coming towards him and then hits him in the chest. And as it hits and you look away, you notice that his chest armor just starts steaming purple smoke and he's just out.
Oh, yeah, you just throw him back. They were so pleased with themselves, like, setting up this tactical assault. They were not expecting this at all, as this one just goes flying and you see his hopes and dreams die from his eyes. And then the other one ducks.
So that shoots past him, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything otherwise because I have bonus actions. I'm just going to chill in the back, and I'm just going to keep my guns up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and then Ellie, we're at you.
So how far away are the hobgoblins?
So the hobgoblins are on the other side of the room, which is going to be 40 feet away from you.
40 feet.
Yes.
Okay.
The other goblin that didn't die horribly due to Eldritch Blast is about 20 feet away from you.
Could I get to within 10 feet of one of the hobgoblins?
Absolutely. You can just, like, run right across that room there, because if you have a 30 movement speed.
I'm going to, like, point at one and be like, I'm going to get you. And I'm going to start running across the room straight at it, wave high in the air. And I'm going to use my samurai ability to give myself advantage on all my attacks this turn.
Whoa, what is that? What is that ability called?
Hold on.
I want to know.
Fighting Spirit.
Ooh, Fighting Spirit. All right.
I also get 5 temporary hit points.
Okay, how do you summon your Fighting Spirit?
I'm like, I'm gonna get you, and it's like there's like a flare of like a reddish. Like my hair gets a little red on the tips.
Oh, I love it.
I'm gonna get you.
It's very good. It's a great battle cry.
So I rolled an 8 and 14 plus 6, so dirty 20.
Okay, the dirty 20 will hit.
Woo. D10 plus 3, so 7 on the first attack.
Ooh, okay. You take a big old chunk out of one of these hobgoblins.
And then the next attack, 16 and 18 plus 6. So I'm assuming that hits.
Yes.
6 damage. 6 more damage. And then my bonus action, I'm just going to slash it twice, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to get you, and then hit him with the butt. Like, come back up.
Oh, God. Okay.
50 plus 6, 21.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 10. 13 damage.
Okay.
Or no, sorry. That's I need to roll D4.
How do you want to take this cat out?
That was a D10. So
you super duper killed it.
7 damage.
How do you want to do that?
Well, like I said, I'm gonna like slice him twice on the chest and be like, "I'm done with you," and then smack him, like come up with the butt and just hit him in the head.
I'm living for these catchphrases.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Anything else you would like
That's
to do?
what you get. This is not hospitable to shoot at guests in your cave. Learn for next time.
You're saying that to slash to ribbons corpse upon the ground. And his buddy is just looking at you with real terror in his eyes as you just leaped from across this cave and murdered this person. Anyhow, moving right along, Draco.
Right. So how many goblins are in like the closest cluster now that they've eliminated?
So there's just one goblin 20 feet away from you, and then 40 feet away from you is one hobgoblin.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes things. I'll just get a little closer to the remaining goblin and smash him.
All right.
With the hammer.
With my hammer. Good, yes.
And this is more of a quiet charge, but internally, by the light of the moon and the warm embrace of the sun, slowly raising the hammer, I attack, rolling 13.
Okay, that is after the goblin?
Yeah.
That is going to hit.
Woo. And that's 13 damage.
All right, how do you want to take him out?
From the top to the bottom, smashing him, just bringing flat. His face, like splitting his skull instantly, and then he collapses into the ground. And the hammer, the weight of the hammer does the rest.
Cartoon pancaked.
It's a pizza.
Oh boy, it's so gross. Yep, you just go right through this thing. All right. Anything else for your turn?
I have an extra attack. Can I move to the hobgoblin?
So how much movement do you have?
I'd say I moved
20 feet
away before. Oh, I have 10 feet left then.
So you could get 10 feet closer to the hobgoblin, but you wouldn't be able to attack him.
But he's at that point, how much? Still only 30 feet away?
If you took your last 10 feet of movement, he would be 10 feet away from you.
Oh, okay. Well, can I throw a javelin?
Sure. With your extra attack, definitely.
Yes. Please and thank you.
So you smash one and you take a javelin and try to huck it across the room.
Oh, probably not, though, because that was a 6.
Nope, that will not do it. This other hobgoblin, he doesn't even look at your spear as it sails over his head because he's looking at his buddy in ribbons on the ground, just horrified. And then, Krim, we're gonna go to you.
Krim's gonna run up to the other hobgoblin and yell in Goblin, "Tell us where the artifact is. Tell us where the..." Whoa,
Who are you?
Speaking in other voice. Yeah, she has a weird accent when she speaks Goblin. "Tell us where the artifact is, your dead mate."
Yeah, no, for sure. Just stop. Okay? Yeah.
No, but
super...
you stop talking.
Okay. Wait, start talking or stop talking?
Start. Oh my god.
What?
I got one with
Sorry.
a little bit.
Oh my god, can you tell him to, like, back up? And he's pointing at Ellie.
When he points at me, I'll be like, "Hey, what's up? You need something?" I'm gonna walk closer.
Oh my god! Could you just... And the hobgoblin like drops his weapon and it's just like, oh my god! Like, just like, I'll talk, but like I can't. And like my friend, he's like dead. Look at this.
Yeah, I know. You've got to take care of his kids now and probably his partner. But it just turns to Ellie. We're having a conversation. He's going to tell us where we need to get everything to get out of here right quick.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, right.
Is there anything she needs? I'm gonna like talk to the hobgoblin like slowly. Like, is there anything that you need?
And while you were all kind of like centering up to talk to this hobgoblin, who is clearly like, yeah, man, whatever you want, you hear like a from behind you, like the direction you came from, and you see two goblins like running out of the passageway, like maybe they were gonna sneak attack you from behind, and then they have their like swords up in the air and they're like, "For the dragon eaters!" And they look at the cavern and they're like, "Oh my god, oh god, oh god," and like drop their swords on the ground, seeing the carnage. And the hobgoblin's like, "Wait, no, yeah, don't, just super don't, just we all give up."
Yeah, you're not paid enough money or given enough federally mandated breaks for this.
Absolutely not. Yeah, okay, what are you looking for? Why are you here?
We're not sure.
What's the thing called? The dragon's maw?
The dragon's maw is the name of this cave. You don't know the name of the artifact you're looking for.
Yes.
It is an item of great evil that we must take out of this place for safekeeping, to protect the lands.
Okay, man. Like, we live here, and I have no idea what you're talking about, so... Like...
Well, I just said it's an item of great evil. It must be kept somewhere secure here.
I mean, I don't know what that might be. I mean, we just moved it... Okay, so there were these kobolds who lived here, right? Totally killed them, right? Dragon eaters. Us.
Yes, they're terrible.
Yeah, no, we're the dragon eaters. That's our gang.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome. So we killed all the kobolds and moved in here, but before the kobolds lived here, there were like some crazy wizard dudes who lived here, but I don't know, man. They have some spooky crap. If you go through that barrier there, we put those boxes in the way, because like there's ghosts and shit over there, so maybe it's there.
Is this all in goblin speech?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still by the entrance and the goblins ran up on me. So I've now turned around and I'm like...
Yeah, and they're like, oh my god. They're like getting down on the ground. They like kick their swords away, like...
I hear the talk behind them like, you gotta tell me what's going on or I'm gonna blast them in the noggin. I'm just gonna do it.
Krim's
what's going on back there?
As fast as possible. Yeah, somehow they know everyone who's ever signed the lease before on this cave, and... They put
Our boss is a good real estate agent. Like, this was like the best cave in the area, so we really wanted it. You know?
So you moved your one shitty table in here and some boxes, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is just like the guard cave. There's like way more of us on the other side.
Where's the other side?
He points at the big chasm area, and you see now that you're a little bit closer to where the hobgoblins were standing. I can go ahead and read that description for you. So you are standing on a ledge that overlooks a wide chasm that is 40 feet long and roughly 30 feet wide. The jagged stalactite-choked ceiling is nearly 30 feet high. The nearby walls all appear to be smeared with oil and grease. Across the gap you see a raised, extending wooden drawbridge. It is flanked by 2 lit iron braziers shaped like dragons. At the bottom of the raised bridge are 4 arrow slits. Behind each... Well, you don't see anything there, but presumably they're arrow slits. And so there's this big chasm, big drawbridge on the other side with arrow slits in it. He's like,
All
yeah,
right.
our big cave's through there.
What's on the other side of the long hallway with the wooden door?
Oh man, I don't know. That's where the ghosts are.
This is a sweet cave, let me tell you.
You know, ghost sounds like maybe that's right, like what we're looking for.
I'm sorry, do you say ghosts? What was that?
Yeah,
You talk about
ghosts.
ghosts now.
They're like real spooky. Like all these
And-
guys in robes, like, you know, just like saying shit.
All right, Crim's translating, and she's like, I think this is where we gotta go. Because we ain't afraid of no ghosts, right? Like, we should go.
No, I mean, we should be careful.
I'm afraid no ghost.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, so you're gonna let
Bless
me go?
you, makes me feel good.
I, like, super don't want anything to do with any of this. So, can I just, like, bounce or...
Crim's looking at the other ones. Should we give him something to remember us, boy?
Hmm.
I mean, make sure he doesn't tell anyone, or do we give him a little bit of money to honey or vinegar?
I mean, he can look at his friend. It's plural.
Pancake
that
Goblin, Ribbon Boy, and Eldritch Nightmare.
Actual goblin names.
It's funny, those were their names before, so
How they died, that was just prophetic.
It fit.
all right.
As long as, I mean, they tell the rest of their friends to, stay out, of our way, because we don't want to hurt them. We want to go in and kill this other evil thing.
Yeah.
As long as they know that.
Yeah, no, for sure. We clearly don't want any part of this. And I'll
Cool.
let the rest of the guys know, in the case you run into them.
We'll leave you be if anyone dares break this truce. We won't hesitate again.
Whoa. Didn't understand anything you just said, but that sounded super intense.
So authoritative.
Came from a dragonborn.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we're not going to kill you if you don't try to kill us, and we'll exterminate the ghosts. So maybe you can move into there when we're done.
oh, for sure, man. That'd be great.
Anything for you.
He's like,
All right. Shoo.
okay.
Oh, wait, what's your name? What's your name? Just in case we need to know.
My name is Danny.
Zuko. Okay, got it.
What up?
Hey.
And so he, if you let him, he will start like going towards the bodies of his friends and like looking at it like he's gonna carry them back, but then he's like, it's literally pieces, and he's like, oh my god, oh my god, and just try. So he's dealing with that situation. Would you like to move north towards the boxes and the ghosts?
Yeah, we should go.
Maxes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So you make your way up towards that hallway, and I have a text box for you. Are you ready?
Oh my god, I've been waiting for it.
Really? It's my favorite part.
Unwrap it. Go on.
Go. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. As you leave the room, you begin to remember the next portion of your meeting with Zaragos at the helm and cloak. I'm not going to read it in that old man voice again because it's just so much. A month ago, an adventuring party like yours stumbled upon a tomb loaded with treasure. One of the things they found was a broken top piece of a staff that looked like a monster's claw, Zaragos discloses. They had no idea what it was, thinking only that it was some antique jewelry because of its design and quality. They thought that it could probably still fetch a good price. But I recognized it. It was part of an artifact called Tiamat's Claw, a potent staff once wielded by Anabraxis the Black Talon, one of the most powerful members of the Cult of the Dragon. And so I bought it from them without revealing to them its true nature. Zaragos smiled, proud of himself. While I kept this information to myself, I was, unfortunately, foolish enough to write about it in my journal. To my dismay, Olaman, my apprentice and budding wizard, read my journal and discovered the truth about the staff piece. One day, while I was out, he stole the piece and ran away. After divining the item's general location and direction, he was already well beyond the city limits and was headed south. But I knew where Olaman was heading. In my notes, I wrote about Dragon's Maw, an old cavern complex located in the cloak wood that was once used by the Cult of the Dragon. I wrote that if the rumors were true, the other half of Tiamat's claw could possibly be found there. I have hired Zandy to guide you through the cloak wood and to the Dragon's Maw. Something else you should know. As I have once been an adventurer myself and have ventured into the Dragon's Maw, the kobolds that live there operate a drawbridge deep within the cavern complex. If it is raised, you will not be able to progress. However, I remember in my notes of a secret passage somewhere in a room full of statues. Just something to keep in mind in case you get stuck. Oh, and here's my offer. 500 gold pieces for retrieving the stolen staff piece. Your memories are slowly returning to you as time passes.
125 gold pieces each, right?
If you would like, what I do enjoy, the module says you can retroactively try to make a persuasion check to haggle for more money, if you would like.
Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we all retroactively in our memories. Whoever has the highest.
You're a little bit foggy of that exact moment if he said 500.
Oh,
or...
natural 20 plus 4.
Whoa! Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, since you got that high, you can get him to go as high as 800 gold pieces.
Then 800 gold pieces, please.
Yep. You will get this after you deliver the claw to him.
Cool.
In my notes is 500 gold for retrieving the piece. Oh, wait, never mind 800.
Yep. You're like, oh, wow, I just remembered that wrong. Weird.
Good job on that, Draco, by the way.
Nice. Yeah.
You should be our manager from now on.
You're our business manager. All right. So let me go ahead and pull up my... It's great because I just taped the dungeon right behind my computer, so this is like really working out well.
Perfect.
All right. So now you know what it is you're looking for. And as you get closer, so you go up this north passageway towards this mess that you see in front of you. Wooden crates, planks, tree logs, and large rocks have been haphazardly stacked on top of each other here to form a makeshift barricade. So it looks like all the goblins just piled a bunch of crap, just completely blocking off this entryway.
To the ghost room?
They said that there were ghosts there. You don't know what exactly that means.
Ghosts Augusta, like an old band. Yeah.
All right. I want to start pushing logs out of the way.
Okay, go ahead and give me a dexterity check, please.
I'll help you out with that if you want. I'll just give you a hand.
You want to give some advantage and help out?
Yeah, I'll help out.
All right. Go ahead and roll with advantage, Draco, since Morgan is helping you.
That means twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good, because that's a modified 20.
Okay, perfect. So as you just start, like, pulling things out, you see the whole thing, like, rumbles dangerously, and you see all of these, like, sharp nails and edges and pieces of these different boxes that you're like, oh, crap. And then you, like, figure it out a little bit, and with Morgan, you, like, pick key pieces out of this thing and manage to disassemble it safely without activating another mess of damage. So it takes you, like... let's see. Somebody roll a d10 for me.
I got you. 7.
Okay, so it's going to take you guys 30 minutes to clear all this crap safely. But eventually you manage to disassemble, and they, like, went to town with this. That's probably why they only have one table in that other room, because every other piece of furniture they could find was shoved into this barricade. But eventually you do take it down, and you see that there is a long hallway that stretches out in front of you, and there are a few doors that lead off of this. You can see that there is one door that off in the eastern wall that's closest to you. There is another like it looked like a cave entrance off to the west, a little bit in front of you. So you see scattered rocks, rubble, and then at the very end there is a much larger room that opens up, but you can't quite make out what's in that room.
So if memory serves, we're supposed to be looking for a room with some statues in it, yeah? Because that's where the secret entrance was.
Indeed.
That's what I think.
Cool.
Exactly.
So do we just want to beeline this and just go and hey, is this statue here? Nope, just go. Close it off and go to the next room? Is that what we want to do, or do we want to start exploring here? It's up to you.
This abode is filled with traps and things that are unknown. We should move along swiftly.
Can I just make a perception check? Just look around me.
Yeah, go ahead. Make a perception, or you can make an investigation, whichever you
Perception.
Okay.
Oh, natural 20 plus 6.
Yes.
Wow, that's the best. Okay, I'll tell you everything. So looking at the walls in this room, you wouldn't have noticed it except the fact that you have fucking eagle eyes. Everything here is a lot smoother and much more well carved than any other part you've seen so far. Like maybe this is the part that people spent the most time working on. You can see that the drawings are also still here under layers of grime and dust that haven't been cleared away in a while. These drawings are much better than the ones that you saw in the entryway, and there is no tar or defacing that's happened here. There's a fine layer of dust over the floor, so maybe people haven't traversed this way in quite a long time. You also hear, as you're starting to move down the hallway, sounds, and at first you don't think you do, but then you're sure there's this low rhythmic voice coming from somewhere around you, and the hair on the back of your neck begins to rise as you can clearly identify it seems to be coming from that door in the eastern wall.
Does my divine sense tell me anything?
So you don't hear this, only Ellie does with that crazy perception check.
Hey guys, it sounds like there's something coming from that door across the room.
Like a good thing or a bad thing?
Can't really tell. More like an intense thing. So it could be good, could be bad.
What does it sound like to you?
I can't really make it out from here. I think we should take a closer look.
Yeah, the more it's rhythmic chanting.
It's like rhythmic chanting.
Yeah.
It's like
Sounds a little culty to me.
Like a bunch of fellas. Yeah, culty is a good way to explain that, Draco. Thank you.
Can you catch a language off of it?
I'll listen closer.
What languages do you speak?
I speak, personally, Celestial and Common and Celestial.
Oh, okay.
And also Common.
But couldn't Ellie start repeating it, and then if any of us recognize, maybe
it's hard to isolate specific words. So you can try and make the sounds. You know that it is a language that you do not know.
Joe Shuffling.
Is
I
that
think
your imitation?
this is my
I love it. That's what it's
Quablo Shipanga.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone know any of these words?
It sounds like deep speech. I know that.
You know what?
Exactly what it sounds
Ellie,
like.
give me a performance check to see if you can imitate
yeah.
the sounds.
It's a 10.
Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, you're like, what are these sounds? And you're just tripping over it. You just can't.
Playing.
I don't know this language either.
Yep.
It's got to be like from the ocean or something. I don't know.
So unfortunately,
Yeah, I don't know this language
yeah,
personally.
nothing comes to mind.
But professionally, may be different. All right.
Well, Draco, I know you have some feelers you can put out. Do you sense anything from that room? Anything evil?
Do I?
Well, you were talking about divine sense before. I was picking
Yeah.
up
So
from
now, here's your intro to use divine sense if you would like.
Yeah, it seemed to lose the page. 84. Okay.
I believe it's undead, fiend, celestial, or within 30
Aberration.
feet? 60 feet?
60 feet.
60 feet. Okay. Yeah, you want to go ahead and pop that off, or do you want to stand in front of the spooky door?
I pop it off.
Okay. All right, you can tell that there is something undead to the northeast of you. Looks like in the direction of that door. One undead creature.
Cool. Okay. All right. Then there's something undead over in that yonder corner.
In the direction of the chanting?
Yep.
Yes.
And you heard one voice.
I know. No, I don't hear anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. You sense one presence.
I sense a presence. Yes.
But Ellie, you're hearing multiple voices. This tells me there's a little something else over there.
Shall we enter the room at hand?
Forcibly or stealthy?
Stealthily.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
the door's
Who's-
closed, so I think they might see it no matter what.
Yeah, but who amongst us is the quietest?
If I could put it in a number,
Oh,
I would say it would be around 3.
okay. I think I got it. We can open the door, but if my thing doesn't, here we go. Yeah, if we all clump together around Krem, everyone get up and like put a hand on my hide.
I put my hand on the top of your head.
I
At
walk
the top of my head, are you
So
that
tall.
you're tall.
Oh, you are
Yeah.
that tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put my hand on the other side.
Yeah, I kind of meant my flanks and my withers. Thanks. Yes. Okay.
just touching your face.
Gently, Cress. Guide me. Guide me, Cress.
Krim
Secrets.
Krim covers her eyes with her hands and goes and casts Pass Without Trace on all of them.
Nice.
So we are covered in a shroud of shadows and silence. So we can open the door and nothing, it will appear nothing is there.
Wonderful.
So she nudges, hey, Draco, go ahead. Or also we can talk at regular volume.
Yes.
Opening the door.
Quietly.
Okay. A puff of dust comes off of you as this door opens, and this stench of like old air wafts over you. This room has been sealed for quite a long time. But as you open up this door, you see a room. Bas relief carvings of various dragons on the walls of this room have been savagely defaced. The battered remains of an oak table and chair lie at the center of the floor. Kneeling in the far corner is a strange cloaked figure, his back towards you. He appears to be chanting a mantra. And now that this door is open, you can definitely hear this low swell of chanting voices. You would recognize the language as Draconic. And not only Draconic, it's names of dragons, specifically. Like ancient, powerful, evil dragons that the voices seem to be reciting, calling on these names. And this figure is hunched over his prayer.
Okay. I share that information under the shadow of this invisibility.
Let's back up.
It sounds as if this cult is gaining some sort of power or energy from evoking these spirits of great dragons, great evil dragons.
Yeah, you heard that too, huh? Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad. I also speak Draconic.
There you go. Then you would recognize these. And these are like famous evil dragons that, even kids would know of from like horror stories.
It does mean we're getting warmer though, right? Eh?
It's feeling, yeah, like you're on the right path towards finding some evil dragon shit. Yeah, for sure.
But there ain't no statues in this room.
Correct. There are no statues in here.
There are no doors, no other doors or exits.
Correct.
I say we head on out of this room and leave this sir to himself.
Sounds good.
I'm also okay with that.
No need to alert anyone else of our presence.
Sure. I'm down.
Was there a chair near the door?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Krim's gonna grab that quietly.
Just gonna take Yes.
Yeah. And then when we go out and close the door, she's going to put it under the handle
Yeah.
to make it hard for him to come out.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you do that all silently, and you don't seem to attract the cultists' attention at all as you do so.
Hey, Draco.
Just like a hotel room.
Draco,
Well done,
what
Crimson.
this guy look like? Because we found out that the wizard friend ran off with the top half. Does this guy match the description of the guy who ran off?
You definitely couldn't see any key identifying marks other than a robed figure that was like a deep cowl. So it'd be hard to match that description.
Do you think he's come here as well, searching for the second half of the staff?
I mean, if his friend knew about it, I'm sure he knew about it. So I would make that assumption too.
Well, for now we've attempted to keep him in the room. Let's just try not to alert him to our presence.
Yeah, he sounded super powerful. And he's chanting some really strong names in there. It's I don't want to mess with that yet.
Very good.
All right.
Oh.
So you do have that long hallway again that you're standing in. So you can see off to the west there is that collapsed sort of section, and then there is that much larger room at the end of the hall.
Cool. And we have passed without trace for an hour, so let's use it to our advantage.
Should we roll some stealth checks for you, Celeste? Or
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, we all get plus 10 to stealth checks.
Make some general notes for me.
21.
We'll roll as a party, so if two of you pass, then you're all good.
Oh, well, 23.
You're
21.
You
15.
are so quiet.
31 after our...
You
yeah.
don't even disturb the dust as you pass through.
Ooh, yes.
So you don't
Incredible.
even leave footprints on the ground.
I've never felt lighter in my life.
It feels like I ate a salad today.
Just the one.
I've dropped 20 pounds.
Well.
So, two options. Do you want to investigate that collapsed section, or do you want to go straight towards the end of the hall?
I'm guessing collapse section is on the way. Should we hit that up on the way and then proceed onward? That way we don't need a backtrack if we go, well, shit, we haven't found it yet.
Sounds good to me, personally,
I'm good with it.
Okay.
but not professionally.
All right. So you arrive at an area where a section of the passage's west wall has collapsed, leaving a 5-foot-high tunnel leading west. Dirt and various refuse litter the area. You notice a rank smell coming from this tunnel. The main passage continues north. So if you would like, you can push further into this tunnel.
Rank smell is in like death or like
Something rotted is inside. Something dead.
Can we figure out what it is from the smell?
Nope. It just smells like a dead something. I guess it has sort of a strange. Yeah, sure. Make a perception or a nature or something for it. Let's see.
Whatever the highest one is.
I'll make a perception check.
Okay.
12.
21.
Yes.
Okay. So with the 12, you're like, nope, something dead. Something that's been dead for a while, probably, and is rotting.
But I used the word fetid and everyone's impressed.
I'm very impressed.
Ellie, this smell has a spice to it, like a peppery thing, and it reminds you of like when
Smells like gumbo.
when you squish ants, like the way they smell just a little bit different.
Smells
Sorry,
like-
I've never smelled an ant after
You
squishing
really?
it.
No, they do. They have like a little spicy, or like if you eat ants, they're spicy.
So let's have
I don't
questions.
think I've ever
for you.
done either. personally.
One time I had a peanut butter jelly sandwich at school, and I did not look at it before I took a big old bite, and ants had just fucking crawled all over it. So I got a big mouth of peanut butter and jelly and ants, and I was like, why the fuck is this spicy? And then I looked down and I was like, oh my god, I'm in hell. So that is
That's
how ants are
awful.
spicy. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Well, that was a freak fucking accident. Clearly, none of us would have ever tasted ants unless we were eating them
Well,
dead already.
Ellie has, and she was able to identify, or they were able to identify the smell. So there. So Ellie's killing it. So I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
So it smells like ants.
Yep.
I mean, other things too. I mean, it's just like it's what comes to mind when I'm thinking about it for some reason.
Flipping weird.
I have a question. Is this object, would I know, or I guess, all right, anyway, part of my divine sense is that I can also sense any object or place that has been desecrated.
Oh, okay. Within 60 feet of where you were, no. It was just that one undead. Because unfortunately, it's not like a thing that stays up. It's just like a one-time radar ping.
Yeah, I can do it, I think, like 5 times or something like that.
Something like your charisma modifier per day or something.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so you can push back into the spicy ant tunnel, or you can keep going to the big room.
You said it was about 5 feet tall?
Spicy ants.
Yeah, so you'll have to stoop and kind of... It'll be really uncomfortable for Krim to get in there.
Krim's going to let everyone else go first and just hang back with her weapons out.
Can I think of anything that makes that sort of spicy ant smell that I'm thinking of?
An ant eater?
Like, why would I be smelling that down here?
Okay, go ahead and make a nature check for me. See if anything comes to mind.
Damn, not bad. 17.
Okay, so you're like underground ant-like creatures. You think of, you've heard of these things called onkegs, which are like these giant burrowing insect creatures that they do live in colonies underground, and they burrow in the earth. It smells, maybe whatever died, maybe it's one of these, or maybe they made this tunnel. Both are likely options.
Ellie, are you in the market for some new armor? Because Ankh Egg armor is so legit.
Yeah, their carapaces are very strong and make some bitchin' armor.
Yeah, you could sell it on the market too.
It's like this nice, like kind of rust red color that just looks real great in the sunlight.
And terrible in the moonlight.
Terrible. So we got to make a decision.
Where are we going?
Well, we came this way in the first place. Might as well move forward through this tunnel.
Yeah, I guess prepare for bug fighting.
All right.
Great.
So you push further through this tunnel. It's sort of uncomfortable as you duck and push into this room that opens up. This room is clearly not part of the original design, so something caved in here and then burrowed out this tunnel. Upon entering this low tunnel, you are assaulted by the acrid smell that permeates the area. The moist earth is littered with bones and strange shell-like objects. The crackling sound caused by your boots stepping over them and the occasional dripping of water softly echo out of this area. You see that against one corner of this room, so there's water and there's just bones and all kinds of trash littered across this area. There seems to be this large, muddy burrow of some kind, just like stacked up into the wall that something's built over there.
All right. Well, the closer we seem to get to wherever this is leading, feels like it's very large, and maybe we shouldn't go any further.
I'm agreeing with that. If there's no statues in here and it's just a dead end, let's right back.
Okay. So you scrabble back out of this cave. And you get muddy as you go.
We're just noping.
Yep, that's a hard pass. You just back the hell out of there. And then would you like to make a 90-degree turn and head the other way? All right.
Yes.
Sweet. So you head down to the big room. I love a party that is straight up nope. I respect you all. Okay. So this room here opens up suddenly. Faded mosaic tiles depicting undead dragons still plaster sections of the wall of this musty area, but most have fallen and lie smashed on the floor. 3 4-foot-high alcoves containing a stone statue of a dragon lie in each main wall. All 3 statues have been vandalized and defaced, and the one in the middle is missing its head. You see no other exits. So this room clearly opens up and is some kind of much grander presentation room, and this is the first time you've seen undead dragons marked anywhere.
that's a really bad sign. Normally, if you're going to be worshiping things that are alive, this is not good.
Or they've never been living at all, religion and whatnot. But I'm just worried more about that they've been defaced because it's beautiful artwork, A, and B, something bad happened maybe, which I guess that we all knew that already.
Yeah, it definitely looks like somebody came in here with weapons and smashed some of the mosaics, and the statues themselves are, crumbling, and the one in the center, its head is just gone.
Can Ellie try and look around, make another one of them perception checks?
Yeah, go ahead and actually
look for passages.
Give me an investigate if you're looking for secret things.
That's not bad. 10.
Okay. All right. So you're looking around. You are looking for secret passages, and you're looking around the room, looking at these mosaics, and then your attention comes back to the center statue in the room, and you see that there is a seam behind this statue, like on the wall. You also notice as you're looking at this dragon that's been defaced, right where its neck, so where its head should be, there is a square indentation, and it looks like some kind of mechanism.
I pointed out to my teammates. Someone smarter than I can maybe figure it out.
I say that looks like a button, does it not?
Yes.
It looks more like a square hole that you would put something into, so a peg of some kind.
Krim starts searching the ground.
You're looking around. None of the debris looks like it would fit there. Go ahead, and if somebody would like to make me maybe a general intelligence check.
Sure.
It's not me.
Oh.
You're like
4. Yeah. What could it be?
I got a dirty 1. I got a 2 minus 1.
Wow.
And I got a 3.
Well,
What did Krim get?
Krim got a 2 with the beautiful modifier of 0.
You know what, guys?
Let's make an insight check.
I just want to say you're a very beautiful party.
We're all just standing around the statue,
so
voguing.
pretty. You're like, I have no idea. Collectively, you have no idea how to activate this.
Krim's gonna pick up her shillelagh or her wooden staff. Can she try pushing the area?
Yeah, so you can now check it out. It's definitely not a button. You definitely need to put something into this slot to be able to.
She starts turning and looking at everyone's skulls to see if they would fit in there.
No, so this is at the base, like where the neck of the statue would be.
Oh.
So that you can only see this because the head is missing.
Oh, wait, the head, maybe the head goes on. And I think, oh my God, is that how it works?
So get one of the skulls, the little dragon skulls in one of the hallways?
Maybe the statue head fits on and then the passageway opens.
Have we seen a statue head around here?
In this room, you have not seen the broken off head.
So I don't see anything.
I guess we gotta backtrack.
Yeah.
Track back.
To the mud pit.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's one option. The other one is that guy is doing a chant using the statue head as a point of the ritual. When you looked into that room, did you see a statue head by chance, Draco?
I did not, but there was a hallway that had a whole row of them. Not statue, but skeleton heads of dragons.
So those are just mosaic tiles of skeletal dragons, so they're all flat.
Never mind.
Unless there's something behind it and we can smash through the mosaics.
Perhaps both of them have a piece we need. Both rooms. Back to the tunnel?
I guess so. Shit.
Let's go let's go ask that other guy.
Where are we going first?
Let's go to the guy, right? Like, where someone actually is?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So you make your way back to the spooky door. Who's opening the door?
We're still shady and quiet, right?
Yeah. Or has a full hour.
No, not yet.
Yeah, okay.
Should we just burst in and ambush this guy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are we
Pin him down by nothing's holding him down?
Well, if we can still manage to ambush him running in, then yeah.
Yeah, actually, once he's within our 30-foot radius, he'll be able to see us. But,
Okay. All right.
yeah, let's do it.
That's the plan. Assaulting this poor man.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
This
I
poor
guess
man
so.
who loves evil dragons so much.
Yeah.
All right.
straight up assault.
Yeah, it's fine if he shits his shorts. We don't care. Let's go.
All right. So you come busting into this room, except it's super quiet.
Hold 1 sec. If he's chanting, I'm just letting you guys know, I can cast silence into that room. If he's a magic caster, he can't do shit.
That's a good thing.
Just saying.
I wouldn't be able to either, but
silence.
that sounds good to me.
I'll cast it deep into the room so it hits him, or we just hit him and then we just go in and physically just, punch him a lot with hammers.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
All right. So you're going to open the door, drop a silence, and then charge him.
Gross, Celeste.
Yeah.
Drop an SPD and just sneak on out.
Duke a quiet one in here.
Just let it.
So
No one will
when I open the door, I just kick it open, and as I put my hand out, my eyes just go into that purplish. And as I wave my hand, the entire air looks like it just folds in on itself across, and all silence just falls. Any sound just looks like it got pushed left to right and then left.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, and so you drop that in the room, and you all just experienced that ringing sound of just complete silence. So you all are seeing yourselves like moving through the room, and you see this figure stand up, and he turns to face all of you, and you see that his face has been just horribly defaced. It looks like somebody tried to fuse like draconic scales like into his skin, so he's got these rough patches, and like one eye is kind of closed as this transformation just didn't quite work. And he spins towards you, and he stands up and lifts up his arms, and he's screaming something. You can't make it out because it's so quiet. And as he does so, his skin begins to glow with this blue, and you see the scales fade away towards this skull. And as he sweeps a cloak, he disappears. And you see something fall and clatter to the ground. It looks like a dagger of some kind that just falls on the ground. And I think that's where we're going to cut episode 1 for today.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Okay.
We got some loot finally, and we don't get to pick it up.
Finally, you get treasure, except you'll have to wait until next time. So thank you, everybody, so much for joining us for this first episode. I had a great time, and I'm super stoked to see how the second episode of this goes. So just so you all know, we will have one more episode as we finish out this module with this exact same cast here before we move on to another module next time. So thank you all for joining us in the chat, and I want to go around again and everybody say who you are and where people can find you, what you do out in the world. So let's go ahead and start with Josh. Where can everybody find you?
Hello, I'm Josh Perot. I am the current DM for Taking Initiative. We have an episode releasing tomorrow, which is the penultimate episode of our entire campaign for the last 2 years, featuring special guest Celeste Conowitch and Sage Stafford of the Venture Maidens. Our finale will come out 2 weeks later, and that will be the end of Curse of Strahd, and we'll move on to bigger and other things, bigger things being giants, because we're doing Storm King's Thunder.
Actual giants.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Zyroxis the Beard. That's at XIROXIS the Beard, and Taking Initiative on Twitter at TI_pod. That is me, and you can also find me on Nerd Immersion, this channel right here with Davis, playing Princess of the Apocalypse next Monday.
All right. Thank you. And then Nassim, where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm Naseem, and you can find me on all the social things at Nazgul. And I am also Saya Noor on the Venture Maidens podcast. And I am also streaming with Scraticus Academy on Twitch every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
I was so Pacific. All right, and then Davis, where can people find you?
Oh, man. I got surprised. You can find me on this channel every other Monday on Princes of the Apocalypse with Josh and also Chelsea and, of course, Bucky. But other than that, I'm on Dank Dungeons. And that is a series that is now on YouTube. And we have Season 3, Episode 1 is up. Season 3, Episode 2 is incoming. Cool beans. Check us out. Also, Dank Dungeons TV at Twitter. That's it. Cool beans. Peace out. Good night. It's something day.
Okay, all right.
Happy President's Day.
It's getting smaller and smaller.
Just disappearing into the background. And then, Jen, where can folks find you?
Hey, you can find me online at the Genya or playing Raya Bonezerker on the podcast D20 Dames. This is the only stream I appear on, so you have to come for next week to see my face one more time. One more time. I have my first D&D adventure out on the DM's Guild for it's a Ravnica-based one called The Experiments of Dr. Skulldile, so you can check that out. Or you can read some of my comics or play any of my mobile video games from hauntedvaultstudios.com.
Thank you all so much for joining me on this show. You all are so freaking talented. I was stoked to get to have you as my flagship cast. And for those of you who might have forgotten, my name is Celeste Conowitch. You can find me on Twitter at cconowitch. If you like hearing me DM, you can hear me do it more on my podcast, Venture Maidens, which Naseem is also a part of. So I am the DM and producer for Venture Maidens, an actual play 5th edition podcast, so you can go check that out. If you like getting DM advice, you can go to check out the DM's Block podcast, where I'm the co-host for DMnastics, where we do exercises for Dungeon Masters, and it's a lot of fun. Where else? Oh, I also play here, Nerd Immersion, on Mondays. I currently am part of the Rise of Tiamat campaign, so alternating Mondays with these fine gents on Princes of the Apocalypse, so check that out. And the channel at large, this is Nerd Immersion. This is my first time running a show on this channel, so I hope I do this right. Mondays, you can always find us doing, like I said, either Princes of the Apocalypse or Rise of Tiamat. That's Mondays 6 to 9 Pacific, 9 to East. And then also on Tuesdays, you can find Ted, the channel leader, master of Nerd Immersion, either playing his homebrew world game, or you can find them playing an evil campaign that they do there on Tuesdays in that same time slot. Wednesdays, I know It Builds Character is a show that Ted will be launching. I think again we'll be back this week, so check that out. He takes characters out of pop fiction and then makes them into D&D characters with you, so you get to see all of that. So follow us, the channel at Nerd Immersion. We've got merch, we've got a website, we've got it all. But thank you all so much for coming, and we will see you at this same time next week. Thank you everyone so much. Have a good one. I'm gonna figure out how to